I believe firmly it's the quintessential team sport. You've got 6 kids covering 900 square feet, and half of them have to touch a ball for one play to go well, and the other team's hitting the ball and trying to knock you on your can.
Big touches, big kills.
You know, it's fast-paced, it's exciting, there's a lot of scoring.
I understand that sports is kind of an analogy for life. I think volleyball takes it to the next level because you must rely on that guy to do his job, I think more so than any other sport.
There's definitely a beauty in terms of like the right hitting form and that kind of stuff, but also just the team aspect of it. You have to like practice a lot to become good at what your position is, and then you have to bring it together. That's my favorite part about it, I think.
The majesty to how the guys operate, and when you get those really nice rallies where you're getting guys just putting it on the line to keep a play alive, and they're energetic and excited about it, it's just art.
I think this tournament's probably the biggest one in the Northwest. It's a good one to come to every year. There's always great competition.
I'm thankful for the opportunity here. Like, it's great. Like, I enjoy coming out here every year to play, and it's a good atmosphere.
Like, the sport court is done so well. The courts are so clean. It's just awesome.
But the quality of officiating is top-notch.
They don't realize how many Division I officials they have out there who literally call and say, can I do the boys tournament? They love reffing boys. They never get to see the boys play. They do girls, college season, high school season, club season. This is really about the only time that they can do boys. And they want to, they are calling us to ref.
This tournament is unique, honestly speaking, because we're in one facility. It's gigantic. At the end of the day, you have the 14s, the 16s, and the 18s concurrently playing with each other in the same facility, which helps the tangibility of what they can do in the future, especially for the younger ones, right? So they can see, like the 18s, if I continue to stay in this sport, this is exactly where I'm gonna be.
And that's a really critical piece of their development. Just seeing it and being able to emulate that, or knowing when their coach tells them, okay, I want you to do this, now they know why. Normally, you kind of get stuck in your age group, and that's where you go, you practice together, and then you play with all the same peers. You don't actually get to see what the finished product is like.
What the boys don't really understand is that they are kind of the mentors for the younger kids, and especially in my club, boys or girls, we have the older kids mentoring the younger kids, and I think that's an incredibly important tool and asset to have. One, to build leadership for them, but two, then the other younger kids feel important and they want to continue so that they can get better and better and stay within the programs. The tangibility part is actually huge, and it has a significant impact on how we grow the sport.
The game has been growing ever since I started playing when I was a young kid. It's tripled, quadrupled the amount of young boys that are playing.
You can see a lot of high school leagues starting up, a lot of club teams starting in places that they didn't exist before. This event was maybe 4 or 5 courts when it started, and now it's up to 9, 30, 40 teams. So it's definitely growing all over the place.
The last 3 years, we've grown volleyball collectively over like 200% for boys. We've got the data. As you can see, it's grown a lot around us.
It says a lot about volleyball that people are able to come from all over and just be connected by this one single thing. It's definitely exciting that you're getting that kind of talent in a place like this, which you probably would think of maybe more California or maybe some other big areas in the Midwest or in the South. So to get the kind of tournament that we get here in the Pacific Northwest and to have the talent that we have, it just says a lot about Roland and the people that run the tournament and the work they put in over the last 8 years.
In Portland, we just see teams from Seattle occasionally, and there's not that much competition in Portland. So then it's nice to have like all the boys come together from all over the place. Also, we get to play a lot. Compared to other tournaments, like this is a lot of volleyball in 2 days.
You're getting better athletes, you're getting kids who are just being exposed in a different way to the game and have different skill sets coming in. But then on top of it, like the Canadian teams coming down is really helpful because they have played since they were little. So they're raising the level of the kid that, you know, when you look at this tournament, you look forward to it and say, okay, there's some really good teams here. We need to be that good to be able to be competitive when we come here.
It used to be for us to see Canadians, we had to go to Seattle or up to Canada. And now they're coming into our events.
I can see how it's grown over the years. I know a lot of the coaches from British Columbia that are bringing their teams down and how much they appreciate it. No, this is a fantastic event. It's on par with a National Open, a US Open. Spokane is a really nice city to come to and visit and have this facility here that we get to play in. And then we're really close to all the restaurants and the other things that are right downtown. It was nice to get up in the morning and walk to the gym. It's also a good event for Canadian kids to come and get to see, at a younger age, international play. Things like just exchanging pins, different styles of warm-up, different styles of play. You know, having the 2 national anthems happen at the same time.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land.
All of these things for the young boys, this is a big deal for them. They'll remember this the rest of their lives, and it helps shape their respect for volleyball and the international level of play.
We are from Alberta, Canada, Edmonton. My son is named Cole, and he's 12 years old, and he just started playing volleyball this year in December, and he absolutely loves it. We had no expectations on what it was going to be because it was our first year that we were doing this, and he loves it and I love it. It's just an amazing culture. We took like a 12-hour bus ride to get here, and we went and crossed the border. It was like a half-an-hour border stop. But I was just excited and he was excited. I think I was more excited than he was to come to Spokane. And when we got here, it was just amazing. The facility is amazing. All the players, the talent that we've seen, it's just amazing. That's my new word, amazing. It's just incredible. So just to see something this size and this big, it's just awesome. But it's just interesting to see that a sport can bring everyone together. As a group, we've had some new players join our team, and we've kind of bonded and we've done things together. We went to a pizza place last night and we crashed a parade, and we just had an amazing time because it's something that we would have never done, and we did it as a team, and it just brought us together. So it brought a whole bunch of strangers together, and I think we're going to be lifelong friends.
We are Element Volleyball Club from Delta, British Columbia. We kind of just had such a great season, and the boys actually qualified for Div 1 provincials. And some of these boys didn't even play a school season, and they come from high schools that do not have a volleyball culture. So it was really great, and we thought that, you know, we want to come down here just to end our season in a great way, because we didn't end up winning nationals either, but they ended up placing so well in provincials. So then it started our fundraising. We had no money and no plan, so we ended up doing a whole bunch of fundraising, got some generous donations. We actually fundraised about $7,000. This team is a little different than most because I'm a teacher, and I teach in an inner city school, so a lot of these kids I've actually brought into the program. It's the reason why I started the nonprofit in the first place. So a lot of them, it's just not easy. Money is not, it doesn't come easy. So the experience, some of these boys have not ever been like on trips. Like they've never played organized sport. So walking into provincials or even an arena like this, it's like shell shock as it is. So yeah, like the whole experience of just coming on a road trip, crossing the border, is something I think a lot of people take for granted. But for these boys, like this is like a big thing. Like it's not just volleyball, it's coming, like playing internationally, being able to see teams from other places, and then like a large scale tournament like this. It's like something they'll remember forever, for sure.
Spokane's beautiful. Came out last year and had a great time. I enjoy coming out because it's a change of pace for me and a new place to visit. But yeah, it's a great opportunity and a great location for this kind of tournament.
Essentially, you know, we want to provide this tournament as kind of the breeding grounds for future, you know, collegiate volleyball players. And we are currently doing that. We have more recruited players this year than we have ever had in the past. So we have done a great job in trying to help facilitate and be mediators and trying to bring on these college coaches. You know, using Brendan, he's a college coach, but he's also part of our consortium, so he's a great resource.
I was the coordinator for sport development, men's and boys development across the country. My role was to help grow boys volleyball in places where it wasn't very prevalent. So the Pacific Northwest, the Southeast, pockets of the Midwest, and connecting the Southwest and things like that. One of the things that we preached at USA Volleyball was that you need to have like an anchor tournament. You need to make sure that there's something that's going to happen. Kids and parents can put it on their calendar, and that predictability helps drive more growth in the sport.
I think I had some parents sitting in the U.S. coaching recruitment talk. So for Canadians to understand that process at this young an age really helps them start to decide, well, is that something I want to do? And if it is, well, now I know all the things that we need to do to make that happen. Most Canadians have no idea. When I graduated and I was in high school, I didn't know that was an opportunity until I got to university in Canada, and then it's too late.
It's a great opportunity to interact and find kids that aren't used to being recruited and aren't used to getting kind of some attention that people in bigger areas where more volleyball is getting played. So it's a great opportunity to find kids, and you know, the fact that they're trying to grow boys volleyball out in the Pacific Northwest is super exciting. So just able to come out here and make connections and, like I said, find those young guys that are hopefully trying to play at the next level and give them a chance to do that.
We do have, surprisingly, quite a few guys in Spokane who have gone off to play on the collegiate level.
I first started playing volleyball my junior year in high school when the Tri-City Flyers were formed. I'm 6'6", so naturally it's a good sport to get into. But I was able to flourish in the sport due to tournaments like Border Smackdown, because it opened my eyes to a new level of playing that I wasn't used to seeing, and which really prepared me for the college level. Going from high school volleyball to college volleyball, it's just been great. We work out basically every single day, play volleyball every single day. In high school, I was like 6'6" and like 165 pounds. And now I'm up to 190 like 9 months later, and a lot bigger now, obviously, just because from that constant working out, keeping you in shape, keeping your brain healthy, keeping your body healthy. It's just been great. My team's like my family, basically. They're my brothers, and the women's program's basically my sisters. We're all very in tune with each other's lives, and it's just great to have that support system out here in college.
My dad obviously played, and I just started peppering and playing with him when I was about 3, and then just kind of went from there. And I think when I was like 6, 7, started playing at the YMCA in Helena. It was about 14, 15, the Space Needle team picked me up. So I played with Seattle for 2 years, and then now I'm on Aces this year. I'll be playing at University of Jamestown, and the coach actually reached out to me, and we started talking, and it seemed like a perfect fit. He's kind of in the same position I was in. He's shorter. He went to a junior college for, I think, 2 years, but he ended up on the men's national team and won an Olympic gold medal in 2008 in Beijing as one of the starting outside hitters. So I think that's pretty impressive. Well, since he was an outside hitter, I think that'll be huge, because that's what I'm going to play. So going to play outside hitter, so he'll have a lot of knowledge and insight for me and be able to take me to the next level. And then he'll have lots of connections and abilities to get me to better places too. I'm extremely excited, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun because I love volleyball, and getting to play it in college it's always been my dream, so I think that'll be fun.
I mean, I think there's a desire to differentiate yourself, especially when it comes to the college admissions and recruiting process. The opportunity is there since the sport is growing at the collegiate level. There is now more of an opportunity to walk in from a place like the Pacific Northwest and see starting time and be competitive.
I think it's a good opportunity for everyone because the competition is very high, so it creates a higher playing ability for everyone, and everyone's skill definitely evolves playing at a higher level. And then also I think getting exposure to coaches is a very good one too, because I'm sure you've seen that there's a lot of coaches out here.
An event like this, when they're sophomores, gets kids on the radar, it gets them on the board. You know, it gets coaches to see kids that they would never ever get to see otherwise. So there is a recruiting aspect to this at this age. It puts them on radars. They can start having communications. They can have coaches, approach us after matches and talk about our boys, and we can pass that information along so they can start a communication chain over the next couple of years, know who to send video to.
It's awesome to kind of get that connection and just really, hopefully, like I said, try to grow the game and get them excited about it, and to be able to give back a little bit, for all the years that I was their age and even older, to have coaches like myself come in and try to work with them to give back and do what others did for me is just an awesome opportunity.
I had a number of my kids that I coached go ahead and take up positions on teams that are just starting. So colleges are having teams for the first time, and those colleges are going out recruiting. We have numbers here that they can recruit from.
I appreciate the venue, I appreciate the passion and the energy that Billy and Roland put into this.
I can see in 13, 14 years, this being on par with some of the, the regional qualifiers that you see in the U.S. on the women's volleyball side.
My philosophy is, yes, I'm going to coach you in the sport, but this sport is what I love, and it's a great connector to developing kids outside of the scope of the court, being able to teach them how to think on their own, develop self-confidence, which again is a very huge thing, kind of bring back some of the self-importance, like I am important, I have the power, I kind of, am a strong person.
It's not just about like winning, it's a tool to build character. Like it's so many things, like the boys that I have now as assistant coaches that I'm mentoring to become assistant coaches, 10 seasons together, we're like family. Like it's, the friendships that they've built, it's just like, it lasts a lifetime, right? And it's like, even when I see them play at practice together, I'm like, it brings back memories of them when they were 14. And it's crazy, they're 19, 20 now.
Sport is all about learning life skills that, they sort of shape your life as you go on. Everybody talks about medals and, oh, I won this, I won that. Nah, the character you build and the lessons on how to behave in different environments, that's the real value of this sport.